Good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Today we are going to talk about Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
Baconbot. Whoa!
How does Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit actually compare? That is the question that we all must answer for ourselves.
Why have you come?
Do you not know?
I cannot give you what you seek.
And then that scene right there. Just hilarious. Like,
You cannot be her. She walks in starlight in another world.
what were they thinking there? There's like a million ways that you can add a love story into a movie. And they picked absolutely none of them. They picked the worst possible thing that you could imagine. It's like terrible. Let's take a look at a heroic scene in The Hobbit. How did he survive through that? That mace is like this big, and every single ounce of it is running into his face. It's like you'd be dead. Your head wouldn't even like exist anymore. So beautiful.
You're such a wimp, man. You're such a wimp.
All right, let's take a look at Gandalf in Lord of the Rings.
We now have but one choice. We must face the long dark of Moria.
So having a flashlight classifies you as being a wizard? I'm taking my flashlight to Middle-earth, and I'm signing up. Call me Baconbot, the Blue.
Where is your master? Where is he?
Gandalf has been protecting Middle-earth for over 2,000 years. And just in the 60 years from The Hobbit to Lord of the Rings, he went from like shockwaves of massive doomlordness to like a flashlight. And like a crappy flashlight. You see that thing? So you couldn't see anything with that. That's the best that you can do as a wizard.
Is he a great wizard, or is he more like you?
That is like my favorite part of the whole movie. Let's take a look at an inspiring quote from Lord of the Rings.
It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. Because they were holding on to something. What are we holding on to, Sam? That there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for.
It's a pretty good speech, but Sam just seems to make it a bit cheesy. I think they should have gotten somebody else to do it.
It's like in the great stories. The ones that really mattered.
I often think of Bag End. That's home. And that's why I came back, because you don't have one. But I will help you take it back if I can.
You know, that doesn't really qualify as inspirational, but I'll let it slide because we have to take what we can get when it comes to The Hobbit. Let's take a look at the final battle in Lord of the Rings. It's a pretty good battle. I'm still not sure why Aragorn doesn't bring his army of death to like Mordor, just like annihilate everybody, and then he sets them free. He's like, no, we're just gonna set up a deal where they like, well, fight for an hour, and then I'll set them free right before we need them again. Now, let's take a look at the final battle in The Hobbit, which doubles as a dragon fight. You already know it's gonna be good.
I think not. I think our little game ends here. So tell me, thief, how do you choose to die?
So the best way that they could think of to kill a fire-breathing dragon was to burn it? How does that make sense? That is like lighting a volcano on fire to prevent it from erupting. You know, now that I think about it, Thorin would probably fit in pretty well with the rest of our government. One final question before we close this video. What happened to Peter Jackson? How did he go from Lord of the Rings all the way to like The Hobbit? We came to our planet and we programmed his mind. What? That pretty much sums it up. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, please like, share, or favorite it. I try to release a video every single Monday, and I would really, really appreciate your subscription. Really. I am so mad right now. I'm mad because I just ate the mic.